100-meter hurdles, a first in Olympic history. It's over. Kerri Walsh Jennings and April Ross rallying in dramatic fashion to win bronze in beach volleyball. And hot water? Two of Ryan Lochte's teammates abruptly pulled from a plane as they were on their way home from Rio, detained for hours before being released overnight. Officials now questioning the accounts of 4 swimmers who claim they were victims of a robbery. Does their story hold up? What Ryan told me in an exclusive conversation today, Thursday, August 18, 2016.
Oh my goodness, talk about competing when it matters the most.
The first sweep in this event in Olympic history. It's over. The United States has won the bronze.
From NBC News, this is a special edition of Today at the Olympic Games with Matt Lauer, live from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and Savannah Guthrie, live from Rockefeller Plaza.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another split edition of our show on a Thursday morning, day 13 of the Olympic Games. Savannah's back in New York. I've got Hoda here on the beach. Good day for the USA yesterday, and yet we wake up on this Thursday morning, people still talking about this swimming situation.
We just have a few days left in competition. That seems to be topic one, doesn't it?
It really is, at least this morning. Overnight, that drama at the Rio airport, U.S. swimmers Jack Conger and Gunnar Bentz released after being taken off their flight home. They were on the plane and they were taken off. Officials investigating their claims of being robbed along with Ryan Lochte and another teammate. Lochte already back home. We talked to him last night. We'll tell you what he had to say.
Yeah, exactly. Also ahead, how about that showing for Team USA in the women's 100-meter hurdles? This was amazing. The American trio completing a historic medal sweep, gold, silver, bronze. We're going to celebrate with them. And we're also going to celebrate with Kerri Walsh Jennings and April Ross. Congratulations to those two. Took bronze in last night's beach volleyball. Very hard-fought match there.
It was a great comeback.
Yeah.
And then they dominated the competition. They met Zac Efron. So what is left for the final 5? Well, we'll find out as they join us live on Copacabana Beach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let us go back to New York. A lot going on here in Rio. What's happening there, Savannah?
Well, unfortunately, we are still covering this raging wildfire in California, guys. It has grown even larger overnight. It threatens even more homes now. So how are crews going to be able to get it under control? We will take you there live when we give you the news in just a couple of minutes. We'll send it back to you in Rio.
All right, Savannah, thank you very much. Let us begin on this morning with that alleged armed robbery targeting Ryan Lochte and 3 of his teammates. Brazilian authorities investigating some discrepancies in their accounts. NBC's Keir Simmons is here. He's got the latest on all this. Keir, it's odd. It's an odd story.
It really is, Matt. Good morning. Good morning, Hoda. This is stunning. This is American Olympians facing the power of Brazilian police and courts. Ryan Lochte is at home watching these events unfold. 2 of his teammates pulled from the plane, apparently interrogated for hours, their passports seized. Another teammate, Jimmy Fegan, is in Rio at an unknown location.
One quick question. Did you guys
Overnight, 2 American swimmers leaving a Rio de Janeiro police station, now at the center of an embarrassing international incident, surrounded by cameras and refusing to answer questions.
Ryan Lochte is sticking to the story. Are you guys saying the same thing? You guys say that you were robbed?
Hours earlier, Gunnar Bentz and Jack Conger had been dramatically pulled off their flight home at the Rio airport. The lead detective says they moved quickly, suspecting teammate Jimmy Fegan also planned to leave.
Are they all cooperating to the full extent they've been able to?
Are they protesting about the way their athletes are being treated, or are they telling you that
Not
they think
as far
it's
as
fair?
I know.
All 3 were with Ryan Lochte when he says they were robbed at gunpoint early Sunday. Lochte arriving back in North Carolina on what he says was a pre-scheduled flight Wednesday, having left hours before a Brazilian judge ordered him to stay. Lochte telling Matt on the phone last night that he's sticking by his story, but some details have changed, now saying the taxi he says he was in was not forced off the road. He now says they had stopped at a gas station to use the men's room when they were robbed. The intense focus on this security footage showing the men hours after the alleged crime. In the video obtained by the Daily Mail online, the Brazilian judge said it looks like the swimmers are joking around. Lochte now telling Matt they were in shock. And he says a gun was pointed at him, not held to his head, as he first told today's Billy Bush.
And then the guy pulled out his gun, he cocked it, put it to my forehead, he said, get down, and I was like, I put my hands up, I was like, whatever.
Brazilian detectives want the swimmers to explain discrepancies in their original stories. Early Sunday morning, Lochte recorded himself partying at the French house in Rio. That Snapchat video was posted at 2:25 a.m. Nearly 5 hours later, the swimmers arrived here at the Olympic Village. The question is, what happened in that time? The security footage is time-stamped 6:56 a.m. Lochte and Fegan told police they took a taxi from the party at 4 a.m., court documents reveal. But police believe it was later.
Is it really justified to pull Olympic gold medal winning US athletes from a plane?
Well, that was a court order. Court orders have to be followed.
And I asked that detective, how long will this process take? He told me last night that is up to the court, suggesting more will emerge in time, saying, Matt and Hoda, we have got access to evidence and we are collecting some more.
All right, Keir, thanks.
It's a tricky legal situation. For more on that, let's go to Savannah in New York. Savannah?
Hi, guys. I want to bring in Ari Melber. He's MSNBC's chief legal correspondent. Ari, so many questions here. First of all, is Lochte in the clear just by virtue of not being in Brazil anymore? Is there anything that could bring him back to Brazil to face these questions?
Well, for the investigation, he's probably in the clear unless this actually got so much farther along that there were some kind of charges, and then you could have the international proceedings around that. We're a long way from that, but on the storyline, if this soup gets any thicker, it won't be liquid. It is hard to follow exactly why the story has changed so much, which doesn't mean they're lying. In investigations, you often have discrepancies, but there are a lot here.
Exactly, and if there are major inconsistencies, that's going to be a red flag to the Brazilian authorities. What about these two athletes who were yanked off the plane? First of all, what's the authority for Brazilians to be able to do that? And secondly, what are they facing now?
Well, they're subject to the laws of Brazil, just like anyone in the United States would be subject to our laws. And there they do have a strong investigative format here, not unlike what we consider in the United States with subpoenas, where you follow and you can pull people. The decision to do it, though, within the context of the Olympics and no greater public evidence, at least that we're aware of, does seem to me aggressive, that move. Having said that, they're subject to questioning and to potential charges if there are false or misleading statements to authorities. That can carry up to 6 months in Brazil. As for the questioning itself, under the 1986 Brazilian Constitution, they have the right to remain silent. So they could actually, with good lawyering, stay out of most of this, but that would raise potentially more questions. If you were the victim of the crime, why would you need to be silent about explaining exactly what happened to you?
Yeah, as you said, legally, the soup is getting thicker, right? Ari, thank you so much. We'll send it back to you in Rio.
Savannah, thanks very much. As I respect Ari, I want to just take issue with one thing. I don't think the story has changed all that much. There are a couple of details that have changed, but the basics of the story have remained the same. Billy,
and
you talked to him
first.
Right?
Yeah, we began. I mean, one thing we're hearing that's different, Matt, is that he told me that the car was sideswiped when it went over to, and then pulled over to a gas station. Well, I think when you spoke to him, it was not sideswiped.
The car was standing still when the people came up with guns and badges.
And he talks about, the guy pulled the gun out and put it to my head. That did not happen. There was no gun to the head. Everybody.
There was a gun, right?
There was a gun, but it wasn't.
They all agree on that.
Yeah. He embellished a little bit, I think, when he said, he told the guy, look, I'm not getting down on the ground, and if you got a gun, you can use it. He told me that he never had that Dirty Harry moment.
Right. What was his demeanor, Matt, when he was talking to you, explaining it all?
He was very tired. He was shocked that this has happened. He talked about that surveillance tape of the athletes returning to the athletes' village at 7 o'clock or so. The judge says they were joking and very casual. He says, we weren't joking. If anything, we were in shock. I just had a gun pointed at me. That had never happened before. And by the way, I asked him pointedly. I said, there are skeptics who think this story was concocted to hide some kind of other embarrassing behavior, something you didn't want people to know about. Were you with someone you shouldn't be with? He was adamant about that, Hody. He said, no, that didn't happen. We wouldn't make this story up. We were victims, and we're lucky and happy to be safe.
I will tell you this. It's interesting to me. Ryan Lochte I spoke to him about 4 hours after he got into Olympic Village, or 5 hours. They'd been out all night long. He's not the kind that can weave a brilliant tale,
right?
When he hasn't been out all night long, pardon me. But the fact that he told this story so mellifluously makes me think, well, he could not have invented the whole thing.
It's not over, I can tell you that.
No, it definitely isn't.
Not by a
All
long
right,
shot.
Billy, thanks. All right, let's move on now to the competitive action here in Rio. Day 12 was another big one for Team USA, including history-making performances on the track. Natalie's here with all the details. What a great
the
night
ladies
for us,
shine on the track. The U.S. winning its first gold medal of these games in track as Americans dominated the women's 100 meters hurdles. It's just one of the highlights from another busy night in Rio.
For Team USA, an Olympic first, a clean sweep in the women's 100-meter hurdles. 3 Americans shutting out the field. Brianna Rollins taking gold, Nia Ali silver, and Christy Caslin bronze.
I'm just so excited. We're blessed, and we just came out here and did our best, and we came out here and swept.
On the other side of the track, American women took the top 2 spots in the long jump. Tiana Bartoletta edging out 2012 Olympic champ Brittany Reese. The teammates ecstatic after their win. In the women's 200-meter final, USA's Tori Bowie getting off to a slow start, settling for bronze.
And Thompson, stride for stride.
Jamaican sprinter Elaine Thompson, who already won the 100 meters, grabbed her second gold here in Rio. At the same time on Copacabana Beach, the U.S. women's beach volleyball team was back in the spotlight. Kerry Walsh Jennings and April Ross defeating Brazil for the bronze medal.
And down! It's over!
Just one night after their stunning loss to another Brazilian team in their quest for the gold.
I am so honored to have won this. This was, as an athlete, I swear to God, this was the hardest match I've ever played in my life.
In water polo, the U.S. women's team beat Hungary 14-10. Now they're preparing to face Italy, the Americans hoping to win their second consecutive gold medal. Back on the track, American Evan Jager took silver in the steeplechase, the first American man to do that since 1984. In the decathlon, Ashton Eaton setting his sights on his second gold. Eaton had a full schedule Wednesday, running the 100-meter dash, leaping over the bar in the high jump. Taking first place in the long jump and finishing the night with the 400 meters. He is now in the lead, gearing up for the second day of competition.
Of course I'm trying to win, you know. If a record is there at the end, I'll try to go for it, but right now it's just about getting the W.
And the world's fastest man looking to add to his legacy. Usain Bolt finishing alongside Canada's Andre De Grasse. The 2 men sharing a smile as they finish the 200-meter semifinal. Bolt already holds the world record in the event and will go for his 3rd straight gold in the 200 final tonight.
Gotta love that shared smile between Usain Bolt and Andre De Grasse. The U.S., by the way, dominating the medal count, 93 through the first 12 days of these games. China still in second, followed by Great Britain and Russia right there. So what should you look for today? We've got more track and field action, including Usain Bolt in the men's 200-meter final. That's going to be a big one. The gold medal match in men's beach volleyball as well, guys.
That signature smile by
I love it. I love the little finger wag, right? It's cute.
All right, guess what? Coming up, we're going to talk to the Final 5 about their dominance in gymnastics right here in Rio.
And don't forget, Natalie just mentioned you can catch all the Olympic action tonight, 7 Central Time on NBC. Let's go back to Savannah in New York.
All right, guys, thanks so much. In the news this morning, that massive out-of-control wildfire raging in Southern California is only getting bigger this morning. More than 40 square miles have now been scorched. An untold number of homes there destroyed. Let's go right to NBC's JoLynn Kent with the latest for us. Jo, good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. It's the Blue Cut Fire, and it continues to rage. 25,000 acres scorched and devastated, and that includes the historic Summit Inn right here behind me. This is an old Route 66 diner. It was a favorite of Clint Eastwood and Elvis Presley.
Overnight, out-of-control flames fed by dry brush and whipping winds. Fire crews unable to keep the fast-moving Blue Cut Fire in check.
In my 40 years of fighting fire, I've never seen fire behavior so extreme.
San Bernardino County, about 60 miles east of Los Angeles, is just the latest disaster zone in a region battling wildfires, fueled by a brutal heat wave and 5-year drought. Firefighters attacking from the air and on the ground. More than 82,000 evacuees, many rushing to get out.
Yeah, it was scary. So I just left. I just got my pictures, my dogs, and left.
On Wednesday, we got a first-hand look at the devastation.
Unfortunately, this fire came upon us so quickly with little to no warning that the possibility does exist that somebody was not able to escape this fire.
There is some good news this morning. Interstate 15, the main thoroughfare that connects Southern California and Nevada, now reopened, but only in one direction, going northbound. And this fire continues to burn. A lot of residents still unsure of what comes next. The fire, Savannah, only 4% contained right now.
Tough times there, Joe. Thank you so much. We move to the presidential race. Donald Trump hitting the trail today for the first time since that major shakeup inside his campaign. This as Hillary Clinton takes aim at Trump's new team. NBC's Hallie Jackson is at Trump Tower for us this morning. Hey, Hallie, good morning.
Hi, Savannah. Good morning. And this morning, with that new team in place, it's a return to an old motto. Let Trump be Trump. After that de facto demotion for his former top aide, today Trump heads to a swing state now for the first time since the shakeup, North Carolina, after installing a new campaign CEO, Breitbart's Steve Bannon, and a new campaign manager, pollster Kellyanne Conway, who insists there's still time to turn around Trump's slipping poll numbers. A senior advisor tells NBC News that means we will see the notoriously off-the-cuff candidate on script more often, reading from a teleprompter more frequently. Hillary Clinton, by the way, pouncing on Trump's new team, saying he can hire or fire whoever he wants. He's still, in his words, shown us who he is. She's taking aim at him this morning with a new ad looking at his taxes, arguing he should release them as Trump gets ready to go on the airwaves with his own ads. Savannah, he's got his first TV ads of the general election set to air starting tomorrow in 4 battleground states. Savannah?
All right, Hallie, thank you so much. It's 7:16. Let's send it back to the guys in Rio.
All right, Savannah, thank you very much. Mr. Roker, a little cooler here today, not so in parts of the U.S.
That's right, especially where they don't need the heat. And we're talking about out west where the fire danger continues high. You can see we've got red flag warnings and fire weather watches stretching from California all the way to the Pacific Northwest. Over 25,000 acres burned, 1,300 people on that blue cut fire. The big problem going to be the winds. Look at these winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Southern California, 35 miles per hour. And the temperatures are going to be 5 to 20 degrees above average with record low humidity. And we're looking at record heat, not just in California, but also up into the Pacific Northwest. It goes into the latter part of the week and into the weekend with temperatures into the 90s. Look for record-setting temperatures throughout the Pacific Northwest. We're going to get to your local forecast coming up in the next 30 seconds.
Maybe it was here when you hit 300,000 miles. Or here when you walked away without a scratch. Maybe it was the day you realized your baby was not a baby anymore. Every Subaru is built to earn your trust because we know what you're trusting us with. Subaru, Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand and best overall brand.
Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Get 0% on select Subaru models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through August 31st.
Good morning, everybody. Still mostly cloudy and there's a little bit of light rain around now. Just a few showers here from about Capital Beltway south along I-95 down towards about Stafford and Fredericksburg. Those raindrops are headed into Prince George's and Charles County here over the next little bit, but the heavy rain is over. These showers should be gone within about the next hour or so. Current temperatures in the low to mid 70s. It'll be a warm one for sure. Highs today upper 80s to right around 90 degrees, 91 downtown. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon and most of the rain will be over. No more than a spot shower later today.
And that's your latest weather, guys.
All right, Al, thanks so much. Coming up, Kerry Walsh-Jennings and April Ross bouncing back to win bronze in women's beach volleyball this morning. They are going to celebrate right here with us on Copacabana Beach.
There they are. Also, the most dominant women's gymnastics team ever. What's next for the Final Five after taking Rio by storm? First, this is today on NBC.
Performance, no matter where, no matter what. The only intelligent all-wheel drive system with enhanced driving performance for all-season capability is now available on more models than ever. We only make one thing. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Lease a BMW X3 for